We're now going to take a look at sales order processing and how powerful the system can produce quotes, consignment orders, blanket orders, sales order processing where you can establish a sell to, bill to, ship for, and ship to, EDI, where the system can process these orders and manage them all through EDI. Shipping date automation or order promising provides us with the tools to calculate capable to promise or available to promise without having to look through each style to decide when might I have those SKUs available. Rate shopping allows me to have the capability to calculate how much will this cost and should I ship FedEx, UPS, or various LTLs. Email notifications can also be generated by the system automatically to feed this data to my salespeople, my brokers, or even my end customers. Return order processing is also a very powerful built-in feature. So we're going to start by just going into sales and marketing. And under order processing, we're going to dive right into an order. And in this case, we're going to create an order. So I'm going to insert a new record, press enter, and the system will assign the next sequential order number. Now I get to choose by lookup or by typing in a customer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type in or just choose a customer, and it's customer 30,000, John Haddock Clothing Company. And the system automatically brings in on the general tab, who am I selling it to? I'll put in the customer's purchase order number. The invoicing tab, who am I billing for this? The shipping tab, where is this going to ship? And if I go ahead and look at the preview pane on the right-hand side, you'll see that the system is feeding me data associated with how many ship-to addresses do they have? Who are the contacts? And I can see there are 3 contact records, the company, and then these 2 individuals work there. I can see their job responsibilities, their telephone interactions, all stored in one system. I can access sales history with a click of a button and see everything that this customer ever purchased. And I can see that there is a posted invoice and this customer buys the Hitchhiker series of t-shirt from me. I can highlight records and copy those into my order to go ahead and create these orders. And you'll see it's trying to buy a product and its item status is not in production. So maybe this was when they purchased last time, but they can't have this again. All of this information is updated and sequenced in real time. We're going to take a look at a line item, and I'm going to enter this order not by an item number, but by a model code. And a model is an optional setup option. I'm going to go ahead and choose a model, and I'm going to choose the full broke men's shoe as an option. Now, when I hit the matrix button, the system will open the matrix illustrating for that model. These are all of the styles that are available, the leather types for each style, the widths, the colors, and all of the sizes on one screen. So I can go ahead and key in their quantities as I go. So I'm just keying in various colors, various sizes, various styles. Well, what if I want to see a little more information in each cell? That's what the matrix statistic is for. Show me what's on hand. Show me what's on hand, less what's on sales order. And as I key in a column, this item has 0 on hand. Let's say the customer wants 10. Notice it instantly jumps to -10 on hand. This real-time update is done everywhere in the system. When I hit the escape key or close that window, you'll see that the system inserts the lines for each style because there are several styles they're buying that are several colors and sizes. So when I look at this line, 15 of Control-Shift-M, it brings me back to the full model matrix card. Let's create another order. And this time, I'm going to use customer 10,000. I'm just going to key this one in. And notice the system prompts me for which customer's ship-to address. Because this customer has 3 ship-tos. I'm going to choose their Homedale, New Jersey location. And the system now brings me into my lines. On the line, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that this customer wants to buy the leather jacket. So I can do a list here, and I'll type in the leather jacket code, and I'll go ahead and open the matrix and key in some quantities of some sizes. I've keyed in the quantities that this customer wants to buy. It's a total order quantity of 8 pieces. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to rate shop that order. And I'm going to say function eShip rate shop. And the system goes through all of the shipping agent services that I have set are acceptable for rate shopping and calculates the shipping charges. So I can go ahead from here, I can quote the rate, I can enter if it's going to be COD and what's the COD amount. If this is not going UPS and there's an LTL as a default shipping agent, I can tell the system in the inventory setup options, what are the freight types for these items? And the system will then calculate and rate shop various carriers. I can use a feature called order promising. And instead of trying to figure out through time-phased availability, when will I have these by variant and by size to be able to deliver these to my customer, I can use order promising. And order promising is robust functionality that can calculate available to promise, looking at the current planned conditions, what's on purchase order, what's on production order, what's on hand, and what's on sales order, or capable to promise, which not only considers the current planned conditions, but then looks at lead times and default replenishment methods to decide, can I transfer this to another warehouse or from another warehouse? Can I purchase this? Can I manufacture it? And what's the soonest that I can have this to deliver to my customer? Based on each customer, there is something called an email list. If I take a look at the order and I look at the email list, I can construct here a list of details associated with this customer. So in this case, I'm going to put in my email address. And I'm going to say that I get the sales shipment email. I can put in other people that get the invoice email. I can put in, I'm at the the carbon, the blind carbon. So now that that's established, I'm going to go ahead and put in a PO number. I'm going to do something called autofill quantity to ship. Now, the quantities on the line that are associated to ship are the product that I have allocated. And I have just done a forced allocation. There is a utility called the delivery worksheet that I use to calculate delivery item by item or order by order. And as I call up those, I can go through and say function and calculate against inventory based on customer priority to determine who's going to get the product, and then update those. These can also be exported or imported, perhaps from a maker. I can export if I'm using a third-party logistics carrier. But in this case, I simply went through and did a hard or forced allocation. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ship this product out from my warehouse. It's order number 3135. So let's go ahead and I'm going to walk out in the warehouse and go up to the shipping computer. This is the main menu in the shipping area. They see a pack line scanning screen. Attached on their monitor are various stickers or labels that have been printed out in advance. Things like create the manifest for UPS or the driver summary, change the shipping agent, FedEx master label, show the help screen, scan missing serial numbers, print the shipping labels, print or generate a bill of lading, enter a total package count, print UCC 128 labels. These are the options. So they print the 4 or 5 labels that they use on a daily basis. They will scan in the order number. That order is not released. So let's go back to our order. And I'll actually illustrate how we print a copy of that order. So I'll go into orders and I'll release it. Function release. And now the order would be capable of being printed as an order confirmation in the warehouse, or they generate it as a PIC document. So back in the warehouse again, and they scan in 3135. The system now says, okay, this is shipping to the Cannon Fashion Store, Holmdel, New Jersey, UPS ground. You've packed 0 of 8 items. Now we'll scan in the products, and they can scan each UPC code, or in this case, I've put them all in one container or one box, and I'm just scanning a generic pack all command. And now I'll close the package. And the system closes the package. It compares the calculated weight to the actual weight off of the scale and comes up with the shipping charge of $8.33. Now I'll scan another command called close order. And when I close the order, the system is posting. It's up to each user when we configure the system. The system is now posting the shipment. You'll notice it's trying to access my Outlook system. Yes, allow access. If I go and look in Outlook to see what's happening, the program's trying to automatically send email. Do I want to allow it? I'll say, yes, it's okay. Allow it to go through. It just went and did something in Outlook. If I go into Outlook and take a look and go to my sent items, it's actually, here it is in my outbox. There is an email that's waiting to go out that was just generated. And if I click on it, it's a shipment notification from sales order 3135. And it was 1 piece of this leather jacket, 3 pieces of this. Here's my tracking number. And these are all user formatable. So you can customize the way these appear. It's package number 24. Let's go back into Navision. Back in Navision, I'll come out and I'm in customer service now. And the customer says, did order number 3135 ship out yet? Well, let's go to order processing and let's call up the customer's customer order status screen. And I can see here that here is the Cannon Fashion Store's customer service screen. I can see that they're in a buying group and I can see their balance. I can see their orders, and they asked about order 3135, and I can see there was a shipment that went on 5/29/2007. Well, that's good news. Here's a posted sales shipment, and under that, let's call up the shipment card, and I can see that the leather jackets did ship out. And if I look at the packages, I can see here's your tracking number and what was in that box. Package card. Here are the actual jackets and sizes that shipped out. It weighed 16 pounds. And I can even say function track and say, oh, look, this person signed for it. Or whatever customer service has an interest in seeing. So all of this functionality in one system. Microsoft Dynamics with the Pebblestone Fashion verticalization makes it an extremely powerful, customer service oriented